Morning fellas, Ben back again on another one. This time, another improvement to Ben. Do not be bothered by these mirrors. These mirrors are bicycle mirrors, and I swapped the double take from Ben onto the Sherpa, and just seems like it belongs there. So much better for touring and riding around. Well, Ben really didn't need the double take mirror anymore because it's just become completely dedicated for off-road rides and off-road rides only. So got myself some trail mirrors, and pretty low quality. I will be on the lookout for something a little more substantial, a little more heavy duty, but let's see, that's for some other day. But for today, that is the addition. That little thing over there that says something that's very, very important, that is the addition. It is a temperature sensor. It's basically a temperature sensor, nothing more than that. But the brand is Trail Tech, and this is a big thank you to Mr. Mike. Mr. Mike from Mike's Projects and Hobbies. It's a YouTube channel, and I follow him. He too has a Himalayan, and he's built his Himalayan to be more like an enduro bike, a dirt bike style build. And he had this installed on his Himalayan. I think he was the first to put this on the Himalayan, and quite a logical thing to do, because this motorcycle is an air-cooled motorcycle, and you really need to know when you're kind of starting to push the limits of this particular engine. This engine is a beautiful engine. It's an air-cooled engine, easy to work on, a lot more reliable than this. If you know, you know. It's as simple as that. The liquid-cooled engines are engines that do not go wrong, but when they go wrong, it's a major hassle to fix them. Well, but these, as long as you know how to ride, and as long as you know how to change your oil on time and get the right oil running, absolutely no problems. You really need to know how much is how good for that engine. And this particular bike doesn't really have a temperature sensor. This engine has a temperature sensor over here. This runs into an input to the ECU, and that's just about it. It doesn't really translate into a reading that you can take into consideration and make tweaks to your riding or give the bike rest or anything. So there's nothing coming up on the dash. What comes up on the dash, most people don't really know this, but what comes up on the dash as temperature here. So there's going to be something coming up over here, 42 degrees Celsius. What comes up over there is, everybody should know this, is the ambient air temperature sensor. This fella over here, this fella. This is what reads that data. That is what is saying that you are currently at 42 degrees Celsius. Chennai is hot now. So yeah, that reads the ambient air temperature. And why that goes up exponentially is because of all this engine heat coming and getting trapped under here. There are holes here. So when your motorcycle is headed in that direction, all that air takes the engine heat and brings it to this area. All that trapped heat under your seat is what this thing reads. Not exactly a good position for ambient air temperature. The Sherpa has it here, so very smart. It doesn't fluctuate based on the engine temperature, engine heat, sorry. So this has nothing to do with the engine temperature. Now what this does, this particular device does, is Trail Tech has, I'll just attach a picture now for you guys to see. Trail Tech has a wire running from underneath the tank, and right behind, I don't know if the camera can point at it. Right behind this, it's more like a washer that runs into a wire, and that washer is for the spark plug. So a spark plug temperature, more than the cylinder head temperature, basically. It's called a CHT sensor. So it's basically going to read your cylinder head temperature. It's not going to read anything else. It's just going to be reading what's going on in your cylinder head, and when it is time to be careful about it. Yeah, so the average value that should come up over here is somewhere between 160 and 180, 200 degrees Celsius. Even that is pushing it, but between 160 and 180, if this were to settle, then that is You've been riding around for about half a day, and you're doing trail riding business, and it's basically running at idling speed, and definitely not a healthy thing. But if that reads somewhere between 160 and 180, you know that that's the limit. You don't go past that. It should be within that 160 and 180. I'm talking when the motorcycle is heated up to its limits. Anything beyond 180, it's time for you to give the bike a rest. It's time for you to kind of, turn it off, give it about half an hour or 1 hour rest until the engine temperature drops. So that is a super value addition to the motorcycle, and makes a big difference when when you are in control of the bike. All these sensors, all these data inputs that you can read from and you control, so much better than the motorcycle having a brain of its own and doing what is necessary when well, that is good. As long as you are a novice, you don't know, you don't want to mess around, you don't want to change anything on the motorcycle. But for people like me who are a little playful, who want to add things here and there, who want to, kind of make modifications, we really need sensors that give us data on what's happening with all the modifications that we've done. Second thing, for people like me, when you go around playing with maps, when you start modifying maps, when you start tweaking things over here, this kind of helps you with understanding what's going on in your engine head. And if you're running lean, if you're running rich, it's a pretty straightforward device. It gives you a good reading of what you've done over here, and so you can make modifications to your map. If you know you're running a little too lean, of course the temperature will shoot up, and this has to be tested on similar parameters. Everything has to fall in place: the temperature, the weather, the riding conditions, the area where you're riding. Everything has to be similar for you to be able to gauge whether you can make tweaks to your maps or not, based on readings from this. So it's a very, very important, valuable addition to the motorcycle for people who really like tweaking and getting things right. Otherwise, also for the layman, this helps you with the upper limit of the temperature, which you shouldn't exceed. So 160 and 180 degrees Celsius, I believe, is a good range that you shouldn't exceed. Oops! So I forgot to show you how this works. The temperature reads 43 degrees Celsius. Turn the key on, trying the motorcycle. Now just keep watching. This thing shoots up to 100 in no time. So do not be bothered by it. 100 and 150 will come up in no time. 160 is where you should start paying attention. 180, I believe, should be the cap. You shouldn't be pushing it beyond that. Just so that you have this motor for yourself for a really, really long time. You really want to go about thrashing it, then you don't really need an instrument that's going to read the engine temperature. Go do whatever you want. When you burn your valves, you just swap your valves. You just get yourself a new head. As simple as that. This is for people who really want to take care of their engines. Yep. So a good addition. We'll see you guys on another one. Ciao.